going 10-5, 10-4, they ain't fast no more. What in the... Short, real fast. I was like, oh, shit, you don't... Back to the race. Good start, right? Yeah, jack it back up in case you didn't jack it. This is it. Good start. All right. All right, y'all, I'm back. The reason why I'm saying I'm back is because I've been here before for this show. Per usual, I had technical difficulties. That's the whole thing about RaesTake. Got doggone it. We won't be in no major, pretty studio. We right here in the living room, kitchen, wherever the hell I'm at. Where I'm at, I'm here. And I'm today, all right? It's not Jamaica Day. Got me in here drinking all that bull crap. I guess I should probably tell y'all who on the screen. In case you didn't know, okay? This ugly guy on the screen, I happen to know him. Some of y'all might know him too. He's actually the reason why I'm wearing this beautiful shirt. It's called Run. It's actually a sedan. Which one is it?
Since we here.
Since we here, which one is it? Saucony or damn Saucony?
So it's Saucony, and if you look at the logo, so the logo is the Saucony River. So the company was founded on the Saucony River in Kutztown, Pennsylvania, and that's the logo. It's the Saucony River. So this is how the river runs. And those three dots are the three boulders that was in the river.
First of all, I didn't even know this damn river called Saucony. I had no clue. What the hell is it at?
Kutztown, Pennsylvania.
Who?
You don't know. Kutztown, Pennsylvania.
Well, I tell you like this here, I appreciate because I got a pair of those shoes you just put up. Them hold on.
Yeah.
First of all, y'all, let me go ahead and I'm gonna fess up. I got like 7 pairs of Saucony? Saucony. Which one is it? One more time.
Saucony.
I got like 6 pairs of Sauconys. Now I know what everybody gonna say. Everybody be like, look here, Jack, I thought you was a Nike man. Well, I am. Always have been. Always probably will be. But the man introduced me to another way. He said, Ray, I know you've been with Team Nike whole your damn career, nigga. I was with Team Nike, Ninja. He was.
Exactly.
He said, Ray, try these out. I said, I'm gonna try them, Jack, because you gonna give it to me free. So I'm gonna try them. Y'all ain't even lying, y'all. I promise y'all everything I love. I ain't even trying to down Nike. But when I started putting up, and I sound like how I should sound, like they sponsor me. But anyway, when I put on them damn shoes, I'm being 100% honest with y'all. The flow rides and all those, look here, Jack, I'm being honest. Plyometrics, all that, man, I took them out. Because normally, even when you told me to try them out, normally I'm always about everything Nike. Everything. In the off season, I'm in my Nike Pegasus. I don't want to name but Pegasus. I've been training Nike Pegasus since 2000 when I was with Hop. Them flow rides got me up out of there. But anyway, we'll talk about all that later on. Man, what's been going on? Tell these folks who you are with all these accolades on the wall and what you got to do at track and field before you even got to Saucony, before you even got there.
Yeah. I'm Tigers, man. I'm Tigers. Mr. Run for Good. You know, I was a small time guy. You know, I did a little hurdling here and there. You know, at the #1 Auburn University, War Eagle.
War Eagle, by the way. War Eagle.
Yeah. And then was able to do it professionally for about 10 years. You know, we of course, obviously me and you traveled the world together and got a lot of crazy stories we could tell for hours on this RaesTake, but we ain't gonna do that. But yeah, I started running. Running was always an opportunity for me. I think it was a situation where, you know, I was smart enough to jump on that opportunity because to be honest, I was always a football guy. But, you know, once I started running, you know, I started receiving letters from the big schools. See, in football, I was only receiving letters from the smaller schools. With all due respect, school is a school. But when you start getting letters from big schools, Texas, Ohio State, Auburn, Georgia, Florida, now I'm like, oh, well, I think my path is from already determined from me. So I made a business decision to go with track, and so that's how I started, man. And now, you know, I work in marketing. I'm a marketing manager for Saucony. You know, I got you know, the field marketing reps. I got about 7 reps under me. So, you know, that's what I do now.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know what? I want to get to that, because your journey of how you got from Auburn, being hurdling in Auburn, till like right now, you literally are still young enough, and you've been young enough to still have been hurdling. And I know you was on that Nigerian switch with me. So could you kind of elaborate on what made you make that switch first from being, because when you switched over to Nigeria, how old were you when you did that?
I was 30, about 29.
See, yeah, so you still got plenty races left. What made you want to switch over to Nigeria?
Well, I think it was a few things. I think there was an opportunity to do it, you know, so it wasn't anything that was, you know, against the rules and things. So there was an opportunity to do it. Mm-hmm. So that was well within my rights. But then I think when you look at it from a business decision, it was a no-brainer. I think, you know, we a lot of the track athletes, they give too much power to the shoe companies, just not knowing that there's so many other avenues of, you know, being able to make money, being able to do different things in track and field, because, you know, we play, track and field is a poor man's sport, just because we play into that whole poor man mentality. So, you know, it's a lot of money to be made in track and field, but we just don't, I don't know what the fix is for it, but we don't necessarily question it. We just kind of go with the status quo. You get a deal, you know, you 5-year deal, you go with it, and that's what it is. But I think, you know, with the Nigeria thing, it was an opportunity, and I'm so glad I took it, because I learned so much more about just track and field in general from the Nigerian side. It was unbelievable. I was able to see so many different aspects of what I knew versus when I went to Nigeria, just being able to, you know, for the all African games, African championships, like it was so many different things that I just didn't even have a clue about. And Nigeria put me onto, and then from a process side, from seeing them, you know, processing, you know, anything from Olympic team to, you know, world championship, just, it was so many different aspects of it that I learned that I probably wouldn't have never learned. So I mean, I was glad to do it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was definitely, you know, a smart business decision. I always try to approach things from a what's good for me standpoint, you know, because I mean, I think at the end of the day, it's all about, you know, making sure you're in a good predicament and not trying to be the noble guy and suffer in the end.
Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of everything you saying. Is when you told me, because, you know, before I switched over, you was already over there. And then when you broke it down to me, it was like, Ray, pretty much it's like, if you don't get your ass over here at the end of the day, because it's like, think about what you got, think about the opportunity. And it was saying, what he's saying is ultimately what brought me over, because I started weighing out the opportunities. Like, okay, well, if I do switch over, what is the main reason for running? When you young, it's for the love. When you old, it's to pay your bills, because that's your job. So when I know for us, when we made that switch over, it was more, and I told people back then, I was like, no, my switch is just like in the NBA if somebody got traded to a different team. Because everybody was coming down on me, coming down on you, like, man, how y'all gonna switch over? Man, y'all don't watch the NBA? Y'all don't watch the NFL? These fools bouncing around every year trying to get who gonna pay me. So in my mind, I was thinking that. And just like you said, I learned a whole lot from being with Nigeria. Yes, the one thing I will say, even with my Olympics, y'all know I didn't go to the Olympics because they didn't do some shit as simple as sending in paperwork. I'll go on record and say, when it comes to getting the shit done, they are the worst at it. But what they make up for that is, you gonna get your money. I mean, at the end of the day, it's kind of like, damn, I can't stand working with y'all. But when y'all do right, it's okay.
Greenbacks.
No, it's okay. It's okay. And I'm gonna say this, and we can keep going after this, but I just want folks to know it. I've said it before. In the 3 years that I ran with Nigeria, I made more money in those 3 years than I did the entire time running in America.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's the business side of it. Like you said, that's the business side of it. So before
and
go ahead.
On top of that, you didn't have to work. And on top of that, you didn't have to work as hard. Because when you think about it, I mean, when I look at the years, I look at the years. The year I was top 10 in the world, I was number 10. Still top 10 though. I was number 8 in the U.S. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like, hey, no matter how good you did, man, I'm still number 8. And that that's a testament to how good we are in the U.S. But at the same time, it's like, man, well, you get top dollar somewhere else, you know. And I think that's important. I mean, people gonna one thing I never worry about. People gonna talk and people gonna say, oh, you shouldn't have did this, you shouldn't have did that. Man, I'm laughing at them folks. Man, I don't care anything about it. That's them talking. Like I tell you, okay, you walk in these shoes, and then you tell me what I should have did or shouldn't have did. And look at the commas. You look at these commas, and you tell me what I should have took and shouldn't have took. So I don't get into that. I mean, I think it was a little. I think it may have been a little more difficult for you just because you had. You Mr. USA. You made USA teams and that sort of thing. So but at the same time, listen. One thing you got to remember, whoever you had a deal with, they'll drop you like a bad habit when you ain't running good. So that's the same concept. They're gonna pick up the next guy that's running good. So why can't you go to a situation that's better for you? Because the industry gonna drop you when it ain't good for them.
That's the best way you could have put it there, Jack. Because at least I can say running with Nigeria during that amount of time. Before, because now actually I switched on Nigeria, I didn't have no contract. And it was okay because, when we went to the African games, we went to Commonwealth games, and, the amount of money they broke off just one time and per diem, I was like, hey, man, look here, Jack. Look here, man. I should have came up a long time ago. Where was the boat back? Where was the boat back? How did we miss it?
Ooh. And we weren't even in the system like that.
Yeah.
We were what they gave us. We were happy with. In the Nigeria, like nah, they're supposed to be more. I'm like, well, if they're supposed to be more, I'm good with this. If there's more, I'm good. With this amount, I'm good.
Hey.
Oh my goodness, if they're supposed to be more, that could be icing on the cake.
You know what's funny though? What you're saying is funny because that shows a complete role reversal. Like how. What we was getting, and we're Americans, what we getting, which was they quote unquote crumbs, we sitting here like, man, you got your money, you got yours.
Good.
We in the room jumping up and down, and they looking like, oh no.
We were in it.
No, we need more. Man.
Do you remember it was me, you, and Nicole Dickman? We in the room talking about, man, I don't know how we going through the airport with this. Man, we trying to figure out how we get through the airport with this, man. Oh my God. We good to go through the airport?
I remember, and Debbie was behind me at the airport, and Debbie was like, Ray. I say, Debbie, you got all of it? I got all of it. You ain't spent none of it? I say, shit, Debbie, I ain't got about half of mine. I was spending most of mine.
I was Western Union a lot of mine.
Both of us, dude, we kept going to Western Union, sending that shit back.
Yeah.
Debbie tried to come through that thing with a duffel bag. I said, Debbie, it ain't gonna work. And just to show her she got through there, come here. I said, damn it, Debbie, I told your ass, send it back. When me and Ty send the money back.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was some crazy good times right there, boy. No man.
Oh yeah.
So tell these folks, how did you end up with Saucony, and what exactly do you do over there?
So it's crazy because one of the guys that I recruited at Auburn. So I recruited a guy at Auburn, Marcus Rowland. Shout out to Marcus. He ended up getting the job at Saucony. And, just one thing, we were talking, and this is why I was still running. He's like, man, I think you would be perfect for this job. And I'm like, what you do? And he's like, man, listen, don't worry about what I do. I just know with your skill sets, you'll be perfect for the job. And I'm like, I'm laughing, I'm joking like, man, I know this sounds like a dummy mission. I'm not going on this. And he's like, nah, trust me. And so he went explaining to me what the job was. And I'm like, okay, that sounds pretty fun. He's like, nah, it's one of the most fun jobs you'll ever have. And so, long story short, he made a phone call, and they called me. I interviewed and got the job. But basically, what I started out doing, I'm a field marketing rep. So basically, what a field marketing rep does is we we support the run specialty, your local run specialty stores and your national run specialty stores. So when you think about Fleet Feets and Jackrabbits, those are running stores, we support them. And one of the big things that they do like a gait analysis where you go in and you basically let them watch you walk. They do a gait analysis where they watch you walk and see if you need, specific shoe, whether you need a stability shoe or a neutral shoe, more cushion shoe, or more responsive shoe. It's not just as simple as going in and, oh, let me get this shoe. Like, they actually take the time and they provide a service where they actually fit you for the right shoe. And I think that's critical because most of the customers that go in there are people that's trying to either go from a couch to the 5K, couch to the 10K, running a half marathon, a marathon, got run groups and stuff like that. So people that's trying to get that active lifestyle, people that already have that active lifestyle, it's one of the most welcoming industries, period. I mean, they welcome anybody. I mean, if you could take 1-2 steps, they will help you try to take 3, 4, and 5. And so it's an industry that was, when I got into it, it was unbelievable. And it fell right into my personality because I've always been the guy that try to help people as well. So the job, man, it's an extremely fun job. And so what I do is I travel around to different stores, make sure they're well versed on our shoes. If they're well versed on our shoes, then that means that they can. Yeah, if they're well versed on our shoes, that means that they can pull the shoe and they can sell the shoe. If they're not well versed on it, they're not going to sell the shoe. It's just like you're going to talk about things that you know about, and the stuff that you don't know about, you're not going to talk about. So with that concept, I travel around, make sure they're well versed on our shoes, make sure they're good. So one of the things I do, because I'm Mr. Run for Good, I usually always feed my accounts. So I'm always sending Chick-fil-A, having pizza delivered. I'm having, so I'm that type of guy because I'm like, hey, if I can feed y'all, make sure y'all full, that's one of the list things y'all have to worry about, and so I like to look out for my account. So
he's actually,
that's sort of what I do.
But he's actually right because they stopped through in Dallas not too long ago, and he said, Ray, come out here, I want you to come to the store. I'm like, man, I ain't coming to no store. But anyway, I said, all right, I'm going to come check it out. Come to the store. The man got tacos spread out everywhere. I'm talking about he got tacos, they got a little 5K run, beer, everything.
So you know what's cool about that event that you came to? So that was the first, we did a Dallas City Blitz. So we did a blitz where Jackrabbit accounts in Dallas, Run On is a Jackrabbit account. That's where you came.
Yeah.
So we did a blitz. And basically what we did, we brought in about 5 reps that basically descended on Dallas, and we just serviced all of those Jackrabbit stores. We went from door to door. And that thing that you came to, that was a big event that we did. They have a run group. So each one of these run specialty stores, they have a weekly run group where basically a group of their customers will come there and they'll just go for a run all together. It's a social run group. Where with the shoe companies, what I'll do, I'll come to those run groups and bring demo shoes. So basically, I'll bring my shoes so you can literally take it for a test drive. And that's, those are some of the cool perks of run specialty. But when you came, I was there, Mr. Run for Good. So when Mr. Run for Good comes, I elevate the demo run. So when I usually come, I bring the food, the music, the jokes, the laughs, the beer, all of that kind of stuff. And so when you came, we had it elevated, and those were some good tacos. I still haven't met some tacos that were that good, and those were good.
Yeah, that was a different type of setup y'all had there, man. I never ever seen a shoe store or anybody do any type of promotional the way that y'all did that day. That was dope. So which gonna make me ask a question since y'all do shoes. What is it? Because when we was running, I remember, or even still now, like y'all make spikes, right? But I've only remember seeing like 1 or 2 pair of spikes. So 2 questions. One, are y'all going to start trying to come more into the track and field side and I guess sponsor and get bigger in track and field? And 2, are y'all developing one of these crazy plate spikes like that everybody got that making you do this shit? Because that's what you're going to have to do, Jack. If y'all ain't got one of them new spike plates, I don't know what it is, but they folks talking about it. This new spike plate that everybody got is making folks run fast. I'm about ready to run again.
Yeah, so we, so I guess to your question, I would say yes and yes. I think, with track and field, these next 5 years for track and field is huge because there's a major championship every year. And so it's almost a no-brainer. If you're any shoe company, it's a no-brainer to make sure you are definitely channeling some energy towards the track and field side of it, because you're gonna get a good, if done right, you can get a whole lot of exposure on a high level because of the championships that's about to be here in the next few years. You got Worlds in Oregon, which is on our home turf. I think you got Worlds again, then Olympics. I mean, you got some major championships going on. So, I think you have to focus on that. And then to answer your second question, absolutely. I mean, I think you don't know this, but right now we have the Endorphin Pro, which has the carbon fiber plate in it, which is our a training flat, which is also one that a lot of our marathon guys run in, and everybody they put the shoe on, they run a perfect test. That's the road. But we definitely will have to look into developing that same technology for a spike. Obviously Nike already have one, and the feedback from it is astronomical. And then not only that, you look at the performances, and you're looking at all of the world records, American records, and just PRs.
They got slaughtered. This year was ridiculous. This year was unbelievable.
Yeah, it's being shattered. And then when you think about it, when you pair that up, so when you take a plated spike and you pair that up with one of the fastest Mondo tracks, that they've put together, now you see in some of the craziest times that you can speak, which, hey, look, it's all within the rules. It's all legit. I'm not questioning any of that, but I'm just saying, you better believe it's about to be, you'll see a lot more people having their plated version of a spike and that sort of thing come out, which I think is within the rules. You should do it.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the RaesTake for it. Track and field. All right, since you ran track, let's make you switch hats now, Mr. Professional guy. Now you finna go athlete guy. So we're gonna start with that past weekend. So here's what happened. Everybody knows. I'm gonna say it again in case you know, but you already know. I predicted Sha'Carri to win. Okay, the first time in my entire RaesTake tradition, I went against the grain. Now, the reason why I went against the grain, I tell you, like I told them, was because
I need to hear.
I gave her the benefit of the athlete doubt. Now, this is what I mean. I'm gonna explain to you what I mean by benefit of athlete doubt.
I'm listening. I am listening.
Benefit of athlete doubt is this. Hey, everybody been laughing at me like you stupid. But anyway, this is what I gave her. I say, look here, Jack. I say, you won USA Nationals. You the top dog. They disrespected you and said you can't go because you was smoking weed. Damn it, that ain't nothing bad. You can't go because you smoking weed, and then you had a chance to be on a relay and they took that away from you too. So in my eyes, I'm putting Ray Edwards, which is a mistake. I'm putting Ray Edwards in that position. If I'm Ray Edwards, what just happened? Oh, you mother truckers finna get it when y'all get back. I'm sitting at home waiting now. I'm watching the Olympics, pissed. I'm thinking she Christian Coleman. You know what I'm saying? Sitting back somewhere in the cave, like, just, how I would be like, oh my God, I'm not there. And if I see y'all run, and y'all gotta come back and see me in my home, in America, Jack, oh, y'all finna get it. Like, so I really thought because she talked so much, trash, like, she was gonna be able to back it up, like, I'm gonna bust y'all ass when y'all get here because I'm mad as hell because I didn't get to go to the Olympics. But I realized that was very wrong of me to think, because as we all have noticed, that ain't what happened. What was your take? What did you think was gonna happen?
So here's a tie take. I know we on RaesTake. Here's a tie take. I don't see how you went against the grain, because when you think about Elaine, she will go down as one of the best to ever do it. When you look at like, I think, okay, Flojo got the fastest time, but when you look at, like, I think the second, third,
this is Elaine. It's all Elaine.
When you get to going second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, she got like 4,000 times, man. and not only that, I'm gonna tell you, I mean, I would say I thought she would do better than coming back. Mm-hmm. But I also thought too, just knowing track, I know that it's hard to sit home and, whatever the motivation is, it's hard to train at a high level. It's hard to do that when you sit back watching these girls, them girls in Tokyo. And not only that, them girls clicking in Tokyo. Elaine, walking across the line in the semis, you know, running what 10-8, 10-7 or something. Oh my God, she's stopping anymore. She's crawling across the line. So and I think another thing you got to look at too. You know, when you look at somebody like Elaine, like she, from a standpoint of everything you see, from a physics standpoint, she does everything right mechanically. Like when you look at her, like she's picking them up, putting them down. So right, like, and not to say no one else is, but I'm saying when you look at that person that's at the top, that top dog, and when you start trying to break down, like, okay, how can she be beat? Man, you got a uphill battle to climb. So when I look at it from a standpoint of this, okay, how can she be beat? First off, you're going to have to be on your game. You're going to have to be on top of your game. Well, one thing we know is she went on top of her game because she had literally a month off. You know, she literally had a month off, no competition because of the Olympics going on. So no matter how hard she was training, no matter how hard, you know, she did time trials and all that, it is not the same from lining up and competing at a high level. The endorphins that your body is seeing, it just doesn't work the same. The adrenaline, none of that, it don't work the same because in your mind, you know it's a time trial. You know, I'm gonna go 100%. But when you get to the line and you racing people, there's a certain fear that you have because you know I put in all the work, I trained as hard as I can. Man, I can still like there's a certain fear you have. Like, man, I can still lose. Like, I gotta make sure I do everything right. You don't get that same fear when you're doing a time trial because you're in your comfort zone. You racing the clock. It's different. Whereas if you look on the flip side, the top dog, Miss Elaine, the reigning Olympic champion from 16, she clicking. She's at Olympics. She banking, bouncing, walking across the line, running, you know, sub 11, 10, 7, and them type of things. So I didn't see her beat her at all. Like I didn't see her, you know, coming close to beating her. And then you think about this. So let's scale it back one. And with all due respect, let's scale it back to Miss Fraser Price, who is by all means, no, like she was the queen before the queen. Like so, we talking about some of the people that will go down as some of the historic best female sprinters in the history of the sport. Like you look at that, two of them in real time. So to just say, oh yeah, I'm gonna come out here and yeah, I'm gonna beat them folks, you know, and oh no, I didn't think that at all. I thought that she would probably come third, maybe fourth.
I thought she was gonna win.
Come close to beating.
I really thought she was gonna win it. But now check this out though.
I wish I would have talked to you, because boy, I would have bet you whatever you wanted to bet.
All right, I lost $20, but don't worry about it. Now, this is the one thing I will say though. But you say, okay, well, she had a month off. Well, my argument to that is, okay, well, you opened up with 10-7. Period.
Yeah, but listen, opening up with 10-7. So listen, it's a roller coaster. You opened up with 10-7. Boom. Oh my goodness, you doing good. Everything booming. You won the USA. You on top of the world. This and that. Then the whole little weed thing come along. Now that roller coaster just went nosedive. Because you're not at the Olympics, not on the relay. Oh, no, actually, you're not at the Olympics. Then that roller coaster nosedives even more because, boom, you're not on the relay. Okay, so now, where do you go from now? So now you're trying to get that roller coaster back up the hill. And so now, what do you have to do? There's no more competitions because the Olympics is going on, so everything is on hold. So you can only rely on your training and basically training as hard as you can train, which still, even if done perfectly, even if you do 2 a day, you still not gonna get that same level that you would if you would have been in the Olympics, or even if you'd have been in competition. You know, even if we set up a practice race where you racing, you know, I know she trained down there in Florida, so she got some fast folks with her. Even if you set up a practice where you're racing the people that you train with, it's still not the same because it's a comfort zone. There's a certain comfort zone that you're in. It's different from when you get out there and you with Miss Elaine and Fraser Price and Toulouse and all of these different gals. These gals are running. So it's different. It's a different mindset. It's a different approach that you have to have versus, oh, I got a time trial race at practice today. You're not approaching it the same way. You're not prepping the same way. You're not. There's so many different levels of it that you're just not doing the same way. So when you look at it from that standpoint, man, she was fighting a major uphill battle from the get-go. Now,
so basically, you saying
wait. Let's add another dynamic to it. So she's fighting the uphill battle already, just from a standpoint of training and mindset and all that. Now, let's throw in one of the best females to ever do it. Period. Oh my God, you finna line up and think you finna beat her? Oh my God. I wish I knew these. I would have been. Oh my God. And she's talented. So, and then you gotta remember this too. She's talented. She's also young.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at the flip side, Elaine is a vet. Like, she showed up. I haven't seen a race yet where she didn't show up. And if there is a race, somebody, email, text me, let me know a major race that she didn't show up in. I haven't seen it.
Well, I talked to Darren, her better half before Prefontaine, right? And in reality, after I talked to him, I had already changed my mind, like, oh, she gonna toast her. But I had to stick with it. I couldn't change it up. The folks gonna be like, you can't change rating right before the race. So I had to stay committed to it. But he broke it down the same way you did. Like, Ray, she ain't never lost. Damn, she ain't. But so pretty much what you saying is, this is what I'm taking from you. You saying that Sha'Carri sold all of us whoop tickets because you saying she ain't practiced at all. She mentally wasn't there, and all the little Nicki Minaj stuff she was doing with the TikToks and everything, convinced us she was ready. She really went. Well, we all know now she really wasn't ready. But why the hell sell all the damn whoop tickets if you know you ain't ready?
Well, here's what I'll say. I will say I don't think that's true. I think she did. I think she really believed. I think she did train and practice and all of that. What I'm telling you is, no matter if she did, it's not enough to line up and beat. That's what I'm saying.
So basically, you saying. So you're not saying. You basically saying no matter what, Elaine was still gonna whoop her. It didn't matter. Remember what you saying? It didn't matter.
Yes,
Elaine was still
the only way she would have had a better chance. She would have had a better chance of beating Elaine if she would have went to the Olympics and actually ran the rounds because she was clicking. So if you take Sha'Carri and basically from the USA, she was clicking. She was on a high. And you ride that into Olympics, now that changed the dynamics of the whole thing. So you took the race from the U.S. trials, she was on a high, and it plummeted. Boom, it went right down because the next day, major story broke, oh, she's not going to the Olympics. That was national news. So on that emotional roller coaster, man, you just nosedived like no other. So that's a totally different, and track at this level is 90% mind. It's a mindset, man. That's what it is. It's a mindset. So when you look at the Olympic finals. I mean, look at what Elaine did in the Olympic finals. She could have. I'm telling you, she could have went faster. The woman pointed at the clock and all this kind of stuff. She could have went faster. I'm just telling you, she could have went faster. And then not only that, but good measure. And this is just good measure. Let me turn around and show them that I can do it in the 200 as well. Like, come on, man. This ain't a run of the mill. We're going back and forth. I'm going to beat her. She going to beat me. No. This woman is for real.
So basically.
And look at her. And Ray, you're a guy. You're a smart guy when it comes to sprints. You teach the sprints all the time. You tell me. I'm just a hurdler. I'm just a dumb guy. I don't know nothing. You tell me, how's her mechanics?
I mean, if you're asking me as a teacher trainer and not RaesTake,
right?
You ask me as Ray, ain't no way in hell she'll ever be Elaine. But that's just as Ray. Like, I done broke that down a million times.
I'm just telling you, if you would sit down, if you had to open your book and write down mechanics of how you supposed to do it, you probably gonna show them a YouTube video of Elaine running 100 from start to finish. You talk about a girl like her when she have a bad start. These people tell you I had a bad start and I still ran 10.6. I still ran 10.5. Yeah. Come on, man. Your mechanics are really good. And you know who it remind me of? It remind me of a guy like Asapa.
Yeah.
Asapa had some of the best.
Yep, that's why Asapa mechanic.
And that's why he was able to have a bad start or a bad whatever, and he was still in the mix to beat you because his mechanics was just that much better, and he was so efficient, and everything he did, there was no wasted movement. She's the same way. Man, you look at this woman run, man.
It's funny that you mentioned that because this is your first time on the show, and I've been on record for many shows. Many have explained just what you said, and people are now starting to understand biomechanics. You know, even Trayvon came on and said the same thing. Like, you know, it's really what Ray's saying. It's the biomechanics, and when you watch Sha'Carri run, she really does run off of a whole lot of talent with a small bit of front side. But when she gets to front side, it's too late. Like, that's what happened. That's what happened on in the race. Like, if we go back and look at all Sha'Carri's runs, she picks up right from 60 to 100. Now, the reason why she does that is because most of the people that she raced, that's Americans, they actually die off at that point in time because they don't run with front side mechanics. When you get next to the Jamaicans and they do this, I knew in her mind she was like, they're not coming back. No, they're not. And I kept saying that all year long. Before all this happened, when I went build up to them, I kept saying the reason why Sha'Carri would not get a medal is because when Elaine them take off, they not coming back. Ain't no coming back. I don't give a damn what they not coming back, Jack. It's over with. You might want to stop running.
They never do.
You might want to stop running.
Miss Fraser Price taught me that. You know, you would hear the announcers, oh well, you know, she's shorter and she,
all right.
You know, like okay. Okay, that woman not coming back.
She's not coming back.
That woman is pulling away. Y'all better look at it. You better go back and look at the film. That woman is pulling away. Please. Y'all better stop playing with that woman.
And that's the thing about it, man.
I think Sha'Carri, though, I think the upside is she's definitely, you know, she's definitely next up. And I think, you know, watching her is a joy, man, because I like all of the. She's the draw. I mean, she from a marketing standpoint, she's perfect. I think you know you can clean up a few things here.
I don't think she's next up though.
It's raw. It's organic. It's organic. I think it's organic.
I don't think she's next up. I don't. And
she gotta be. Who's next up?
I'm gonna tell you why I don't think she's next up. And I could be wrong, but this is RaesTake. This is why I'm gonna express myself. I don't think she's next up based off of everything that we're talking about. Elaine ain't going nowhere. So for the next 3-4 years of your life, you gotta chase. You are a female LeBron or something trying to chase a goat. You can't catch Elaine.
Yeah.
So the thing is, can she recover from where she at now and then get next to her again and it keep happening? Like right now, I don't foresee in the future you beating her.
Yeah, but see, I think the draw. I think the draw to the rivalry is going to be one that that's why I say she next up. You know, listen, think about the build up to this race.
No, it was crazy.
You know,
it was crazy. But it was like Mayweather Pacquiao fact.
Exactly. The build up to this race is unbelievable. And then think about after the race. She said, "Hey, I'm gonna go back to the drawing board. I gotta do what I gotta do." You know, and I think so. I'm telling you, she gonna be next up, and because she's too talented, she's too fast to not be. I think, you know, obviously she'll have to, you know, she got stuff to work on.
Even if she next up would mean you can't get up until the Jamaicans are gone, and they don't foresee. I mean, let's just put it all on the table. Even Sha'Carri beat you. Now, granted, Sha'Carri ain't dropped no crazy times, but Sharika, how do you say her name? I'm sorry, but yeah, like she in front of you right now, and she right there with you in the age group.
Yeah. But see, I'm not. I mean, with all due respect, I'm not worried about that. I'm just looking at the top dog. So I'm looking at Elaine. Like, okay, everybody collectively that's running the 100, they know she is gonna be going out. I mean, Fraser Price, she's still in there too. She's still tough. Yeah. But I think she understands too. Like, hey, Elaine tough. Cause Fraser Price put on a clinic. She put on a clinic in her career. She's on the.
Even this year she did. She put on a clinic this year and it didn't even matter.
That's what I'm telling you. She put on a clinic this year, and Fraser, and Elaine was just, you know, she's just too good. So I think, you know, but I'm telling you, Rich is the next up, man. I mean, I think when you look at it all around, marketing, just think about marketing. Marketing from a marketing standpoint alone. I think marketing, she's gold.
Yeah, she killing it on the marketing side, 100%. Well, you know what?
But the thing is, she can. But when you look at it, though, she can back it up. Like, so when you look at it from a marketing standpoint, she can back it up. Listen.
Hold on, though. I'm gonna stop you on that. No, I'm gonna stop you on that. The reason I'm gonna stop you on that is because now I'm gonna play devil's advocate, even though I love everything going on over there in track and field. Period. She ain't showed up ever in a major event. if you really think about it, and I'm not being disrespectful to Sha'Carri because she's still one of the greatest ever do because she's ran the time. But let's go back. Go back to her first USA appearance.
That's the major event. You don't have to be Olympic trials either.
No, man. The reason why I'm saying now this part can be a little disrespectful, but I'm sorry, ladies. I just gotta call it what it is. She beat a bunch of U.S. women that I like to say ain't as good. Now hear me out before they shoot me again. The reason why I keep saying that is because there's nobody. Everybody she's raced has been like the people she trained with in America or college people. She does not race major people. Think about this year when she got the Gates head and raced Dina. What happened to Honey? Every time she don't have to line up beside somebody who actually can beat her, she's lost to her. Then watching when she went over there to Gates head this what was that? This year. Lost to her. But every time she line, I think it's more of a she has that bully syndrome. If she knows that you ain't as good as she is, she gonna bully you and beat you down. But then when she get next to the people that actually can beat her, hold on, no, when she get next to the people that actually can beat her, it's not the same Sha'Carri. And what I say is because just look at her, literally her times. USA's that first year, she went 11-1, and that was after her college 10-6. When she got in the race with Elaine them, 11-1. When she ran against Dina, it was like 10-9, 11-0. You see what I'm saying? So it's like almost like every time she get next to them, it might be a little subconscious then because when you think about it, she is only 21. And if you take her back to just her senior year in high school, you was actually watching Elaine win the Olympic Games. So she can play the tough girl act all day long, but you still LeBron James getting on the court with with Jordan. You can hide behind all the I'm the best, but I'm like, well, I bet you in the back of your mind you still kind of scared. Because that's what it's looking like.
But listen, but here's the deal though. And this is why I say what I say, because you got to remember, she's writing the checks though. So at some point it's either that's what I'm saying. So that's why I appreciate her writing the check. See, if it was quiet and humble and all that, then I'm with you. I'm like, oh yeah, I don't know. But she's writing the check, so that's gonna do one or two things. That's either gonna force her to face the competition, so to speak, and line up, or whatever the case may be, or it's gonna put her in a predicament like, to fall to your take on, her not showing up when she with them. But I think I'm telling you, she's too talented. She has too much of a draw to not beat that person. I'm telling you.
Yeah. All right, before we get out here, because you are a hurdler, I got to get your take on a couple of these hurdle things I done saw. Two of them, ain't two. The one I want to get your take on is how in the hell did Grant Holloway lose? Because me in the semis, I said Grant Holloway ain't going to win that final. So I want to see what you got to say. And that 400-meter hurdle, I predicted Rye was going to break the world record, but I did not predict that Warholm was going to do the same thing and still beat him.
It was tricky to watch the 110 hurdles because just knowing the hurdles and in the semis, I when I saw Parchment run the semis and I saw he didn't have the best race. I think he hit a hurdle and sat on a hurdle. And he was still within like two hurdles. He was able to make up and win the race. He was the way he came across the line and the ease of how he did that. I was like, now Parchment is going to be tough in the finals. And I thought just like I always did, if he could have kept it close, and Parchment probably went in with the same exact thing that I said and any of your hurdle coaches or hurdle whoever said. If you keep it close around 6, 7, or whatever the case may be, you're going to have a really good chance to win because, Holloway's good, man. He is good. And I think when you look at all of his races, people ain't even been in the stratosphere of beating him. But when I watched him, I admire what the guy did. He'll go down as one of the best collegiate hurdlers come through the period, I'm a national champion, but that ain't got nothing on his 6 or 7 or how many of he did. And so I was able to talk to a really, really good kid, and pull for you want the best one. But I was able to see just watching him his senior year and watching the kid from Kentucky. So the few times the kid from Kentucky beat him, the kid from Kentucky was with him around 6 or 7, and I said, oh man, you know, the kid from Kentucky kind of showing, you know, if you're gonna beat Holloway, this is how you beat him. You know, just press him a little bit around 6 or 7, you know, towards the end, and what ended up happening is, I think that's what happened in the finals. I think when Holloway felt Parchman, you know, around it might be 6, might be 7, his entire form changed. You know, he opened up a little bit. You know, it looked like his hips might have dropped a little bit, but it just changed, and he was just trying to get across the line because he was still in the lead. But he was just like, man, let me dive across the line. And I think if he, you know, I know he probably cringed looking at the race because, you know, if he keep his form, he keep his mechanic, it'll be a close race, but he still probably come out with the win. But that's not what happened. And Parchman, on the flip side, he's, you know, hips up, he pursuing, he see it, and he, you know, dip at the line and win it. So, you know, it was tough to see that happen. You know, obviously I definitely wanted Holloway to win, but I'm happy for Parchman. Parchman, one of my guys that ran with me, you know, he's an old school guy. So, you know, I was happy to see him. And then with all the stuff that Parchman has been through in his career, man, I was happy to see him do that because, you know, you got to think back. Parchman at one point was, you know, the next up, and then, you know, they discounted him. Oh, you know, he steers about track and all of this. And you know, he's real cool dude, man. So I was happy to see him. I was real happy for him to win that and happy to see him win that. So that was a joy to watch. And then in the 400 hurdles, man, that was crazy to watch. I knew it was gonna be a world record. I didn't see 45.
Nah.
And I knew. What really shocked me with that race is I thought when I was thinking it was gonna be a position race. So I was like, whoever is in the higher lane, so whoever's in the outside lane, whether that's if Ryan in 6, then I give the nod to Warhol. If Warhol in 6 and Ryan in 5, I give a nod to Ryan. So you know, to see Warhol be out in front of him and still win, it was crazy, man. Because when you're out in front of them guys, you literally running in the blind. Because them guys on a whole nother spectrum. So when you out in front of them guys, when you out in front of Ryan, and you know he's just sitting back on you, you gotta dig deep in order to beat him, and that's what he did. He dug deep, and you know, so one of the interesting things about that race that really blew my mind is I always try to look at this thing from being a coach, right? So think about it. If you're a coach, you coaching your 400 hurdle, and when you look at the finals in that race, you look at the 5th place guy, the 6th place guy. These guys running 47. And if you look at the history of the hurdles, in the history of this sport, if you ever run 47, probably you probably about a 98% chance you're gonna win the race.
Yeah.
But you ain't coming.
Batman used to win with 47. Batman used to win with 47.
People running 47 seconds, 47 low, and you came 6. Oh my God. As a coach, like, what do you tell your athlete as a coach? Do you congratulate him for that 6th place? You just ran the number, you know, time ever, you know, so you congratulate.
I mean, I tell you what to tell him as a coach. Ain't nothing you can tell. I mean, we know them stories. I mean, I was in Berlin when Tyson got 2nd. You ran 9.6, but what can you say? It's like, hey, bro, good race.
I mean, I don't know how you could, and you know, and one of the things that was crazy to me, and to show you, and it's just kind of give you perspective on how good Rob Benjamin gonna be. You know, he wasn't excited about that 2nd place. You know,
oh no, he broke. I found out that night that he broke down. Like, he was in tears that he lost.
Yeah, his interview. You have to see his interview with Lewis, man. You know, it was gut wrenching, man, because of course they showed his family back home, and of course obviously they cheering for him, they happy, silver medal, they happy, but he's crying like a baby, like, I let them folks down, man. I can't even win, like, you know, but it shows, you know, his dedication, and man, I'm telling you, this next year, man, in Oregon, oh my God. You may as well go ahead and bookmark that race. They are. I guarantee you, NBC are already making that race prime time.
Come on,
don't worry about the 100 and 200, 400 hurdles gonna be prime time because
400 hurdles next year.
A guy crying like that. I wouldn't be surprised if Rob Benjamin's somewhere training right now, man.
Hey, what you say?
I'm
He
telling
for
you.
real. He for real did what I expected Sha'Carri to do after not going to the Olympics. Ryan is probably
Right.
doing that right now. Ryan somewhere like,
Absolutely.
oh nah, y'all got to see me.
Absolutely.
Y'all got to see me next year. I believe it. I love Ryan too, man. I ain't gonna lie. I love that kid. I love everything about Ryan. I love the way he compete. I love the capacity.
He a warrior, man.
Like,
he's a warrior.
yeah.
He's a warrior. He lines up. I mean, you know, when you watch this, he's a warrior. He lines up in a race, man. And I mean, Warhol, this guy, he's a warrior too.
Warhol,
he's insane with it. Like
he over there
he's
somewhere, man.
crazy.
He's
crazy.
The one thing that I say Warhol figured out was he literally figured out how to live up to like the first half of his name. Like it just somewhere he running, he really out there on a war path. Like I'm not out here having fun. I'm really out here to. He remind me of like a Mike Tyson, but don't say it. Like I'm really out here to take your kids out your stomach and eat them. Like. Like when he ripped his shirt after winning, I was like, oh man, he on a whole other planet.
It's a joy to watch him. It's a joy to watch him run because he ain't scared. Like,
he ain't scared at all.
Hey, I'm gonna go all out, and if I die, I die. I'm gonna die, and I don't have a problem with it.
I don't have a problem with it.
See that? Like that's it's fun to see, and that's why I say the Olympic final race was the one that showed me that. Because this guy was out in front of Rye, which you knew, like, ooh, you Rye, you know the advantage.
I said it. I said at 120 to go, I was like, if Rye sit right here at 120, he gonna get it. And then as soon as he came, I said, okay, let's go, Rye. And then Warhol was like, nope. I said, Warhol gonna break over the last hurdle. He came to the last hurdle and was ugly and still found another gear. I said, oh, they ain't never fight right there.
Scared, man.
They ain't never butt fight.
Yeah, he ain't scared. He got a fight in him. And so, I mean, you know, it's going to be, that rivalry is going to be a good one, man. It's to be interested to see who will try to step up to be that third place guy. But, boy, at this rate, you don't have to run 46 flat to be the third place guy.
Right now, I think what we are entering into a realm of what we actually would enjoy, which is duo battles, because the women 400 hurdles is two of them going at it. The men is two of them.
Yeah.
The 100 is two of them. I mean, everything, the 800, everything that we got is starting to be two people saying we gonna separate and we gonna be it ain't gonna be no one no more. How it always is like one person dominating. It's two, and that's beautiful for the sport because it's like on any given day, you know, in these events, you finna get a race. You finna get a race. It might not be 1 through 8, but them two right there. Cause you can't deny when I sat there and watched the women's 400 meter hurdle with Sid and I was there on TV like this. I'm talking about cause you know somebody finna go. And the other person gonna damn near break the record too. They gonna push each other to break the record. Like, come on, Jack. Like that's racing right there. That's what we living to see. That's what we living to see right there. All right, well look, I ain't gonna hold you on here too much longer. We do got a Diamond League final coming up. So I'm gonna ask you one thing and then I'm gonna know where you at. With Diamond League final coming up, Sha'Carri does have races to get back in it. What do you foresee happening at a Diamond League final? When all three of them line up again.
So if all three of them line up again,
ain't no if. They will at Diamond League final.
Okay, I see Elaine winning and possibly running 10-5 again. Maybe, and I'm gonna tell on RaesTake, she might touch 50. She might touch 10-50. And then, of course, you know, Miss Fraser Price will be second, and then Richards will be third. Because I think you're not seeing Sha'Carri come last no more. That was a one-off. She went back to the lab. You better believe she back on the track. She said she going, I gotta get back in the lab. I gotta get back on the, you know, training and do what I need to do. Yeah. So you better believe she coming full force. But
so you don't see her winning at all this year? No time.
To be lame?
Yeah.
No. Whatever you want to bet on that, just, you know. And there's nothing against her, but I just think with the way Elaine running, you talking about a lady. Listen, you talking about a lady that ran 10-5, 10-6, 10-6, 10-7 in the same season. Man, you better stop playing with that woman, man. Yeah, you better stop playing with that woman. y'all. So what y'all gonna and see one thing about just to show you how dangerous Elaine is. She ain't doing all that talking. And see one thing y'all gonna make that woman touch 10-4. Y'all keep playing now.
Look here.
Y'all keep playing with it. Y'all gonna make her touch 10-4, and then what y'all gonna say then?
Ooh, she take that. If Elaine Thompson snatches that USA record down. Oh Lord, I'm ending the show right on that. So check it out, y'all. I'm glad I had Tyron to come on this thing today. This my boy right here. We're gonna get back to it, but man, he say Elaine is on an undefeated season.
Oh yeah. Stop
Guess
playing
what?
with him.
I 100,000% agree. Elaine is on an undefeated season, and I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that I believe if they line up again, Elaine will break the record in that race. Literally, it'll be that race.
I'm saying 10:51. 10:51 if they line up again.
They line up. She went 10:54 with no wind.
Yeah,
and they weren't even in the race. I'm giving her 47 with a 1.8, 1.9 on the Brussels track. 10:40. If you can give me 10:54, and this is really like your third track meet of you being in shape at past the Olympics. You can give me 10:54 with a .01 nothing wind. If you give her a 1.0, that 10:54 just came down to that 10:51. You give her another 1.0 and make it a legal 2.0. That's a new world record, Jack. She gonna break that thing.
51. You heard it here first.
Y'all heard it here, yeah. You heard it here. She breaking the world record 10:47 before the season's out. We get out the show though, cause I gotta get to the gym. I appreciate my Saucony family. Hey, you know what's funny though? This shirt that y'all gave, it don't even really look like a Saucony shirt. I like how it go run, and they got the little track and field, little track and field down here at the bottom. You don't even know it's Saucony if you don't really say it's Saucony. Hey, can I get like 5 more of these? And this, I like the way y'all mediums fit.
I'll see what I can do.
You see my medium make me look big. You know, most folks medium don't fit like this. I've been working out. Like I can go run again in this shirt, boy. Woo. I appreciate y'all folks, man. Hey, bro, I appreciate you, man. You always welcome on
RaesTake.
RaesTake.
Having me, man.
Hey, go to work, cause you sitting there looking like you supposed to be doing something and you ain't doing it. So I'm gonna go to work and you go to work, because that's kind of how we got in these positions, because we were smart enough, we was running track to figure out how to go to work.
See you, man.
Bye,
Times 3, but if we hold an eye in our dream, how do we win as a team? Answer me. How do we win as a team?